Excellent.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another 3D Hangouts. My name is Noah Wes, and I'm a designer here at Adafruit. Joining me every week is my brother Pedro.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Pedro, Creative Tech here at Adafruit, and every week we come to share 3D printed projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
That's right. This is where we combine 3D printing with electronics to make inspirational projects for you folks. Let's kick it off with today's coupon code. It is Game On. If you want to check out anything in the Adafruit shop, please use coupon code Game On. You get 10% off all the things in the shop except for certificates, those gift certificates and subscriptions. If you go to adafruit.com/free, you can see all the freebies that are out there. For orders that are $9.99 or more, you get a Perma Proto, and I am typing the website right now, adafruit.com/free. Let's go over there, because it changes like every week, which is awesome. So for $99 or more, you get the half-size Perma Proto, which is a lovely breadboard. We are giving out these awesome patches for orders of $149 or more. You get selection is random, but if you already got one, we make sure that you don't get a duplicate. For orders that are $200 or more, you get ground UPS shipping. That's free for continental US only. For $290 or more, you get all of that stuff plus a Circuit Playground Express. That is awesome. So again, check out adafruit.com/free to see all the deals there. You don't really have to do much. Once you're in your checkout, you will see, and we'll even give you the notification saying, hey, for $2 more, you can get that $99 freebie. Excellent. I'm running through this pretty quickly. So same-day delivery is an option in the New York City area. If you would like that, go to adafruit.com/delivery. That might be it, or shipping. That might be one of the two. Newsletters happen at adafruit.com/newsletter. This is a weekly newsletter. It's for products. The CircuitPython meeting happens every Monday at 2 p.m. Welcome back all the CircuitPython devs from PyCon, which happened, which is an amazing thing, and there are some talks and things. Check out the blog, and we have some newsletters and things for CircuitPython, which is all there. CircuitPython.org is our latest and greatest endeavor for CircuitPython. Shout out to the team for putting this together. It's the easiest way to get CircuitPython on your hardware, not just Adafruit hardware, but hardware that is all compatible with CircuitPython. We have another newsletter. It's called adafruitdaily.com. It's an opt-in only, so we have different categories and things. It happens every single day. We come out with new content with the adafruitdaily.com. We're hanging out in the Discord server. It's open 24/7 and 7 days a week. Yeah, so we're hanging out in the Discord server. Say hi. We're there too, and we'll check in with the chat room as we go. All right, jobs board, jobs.adafruit.com is our to. He's stuck. Okay. Jobs board.
Say hi.
Adafruit.com is the. I don't know. We're gonna have to skip that. Just go there. All right. This week's project is. If you go to learn.adafruit.com, you can see the latest project. Here it is.
Here's our next big release. It is the awesome PyBadge. This project, we're making a awesome 3D printed case for the PyBadge. So we go over to the overhead, you can say, oh, wrong thing.
What is going on today? Can we just start the show over?
Let's go to the overhead, and in case you guys haven't seen this awesome little credit card size gaming platform, this is the PyBadge. It's an awesome little 1.8-inch screen on here. We got a bunch of buttons. Got the little D-pad, you got A, B, as well as a start and select button. Got your NeoPixels on the front, and you also have, I can't see it in the case that well, but you have the speaker and the 400 milliamp hour battery. There are access to headers on the back, as well as a bunch of programming ports on the bottom here. So you can add additional sensors, add NeoPixels, things like that. So you can actually have this as I think more than just a gaming platform, have it be like a little controller, control some NeoPixels or something like that. In CircuitPython, you can have MakeCode running on there as well. We have MakeCode Arcade, which you can use to build games from scratch on here, which we'll be going over in a little bit. You got access to your USB port on the top here, nice little slide switch button. You got a light sensor, you got accelerometer. There's a ton of stuff in this tiny little board. And we just made a little 3D printed case for this. So jumping right into the guide, is there anything else you want to cover on it? Oh yeah, you have little hooks for using our awesome little Circuit Playground themed lanyard. So you can wear this as a conference badge. Taking a look at the Learn guide here, you can see a quick little explanation on this. The only parts you're going to need is the PyBadge itself, as well as the oval speaker and the 400 milliamp hour battery. I think we're getting additional batteries and speakers that'll fit a little bit more better, but these work pretty good for now. A little explanation on what MakeCode Arcade is. If you haven't checked out the extensive playlist that our very own John Park has been working on, you can take a look at that to build games from scratch or modify games. There's a bunch of them already in there as demos. We'll be going through some of those on there. You can do like platformers, scrollers, puzzle games. There's a lot you can do in education. Scrolling down, you can see that we have an additional version of the PyBadge, which we're calling LE for LC, I think, low cost, or LE? Which one is it?
LC.
LC. For low cost, which just does away with some of the ports, the headers. You can, of course, add that on yourself if you really want to save on that cost. And it's a little bit more flatter. I think that's one of the ones we're going to be using for making like a super slimmed down version of this case. It is showing out of stock. They should be coming back in sometime this week. They are building a bunch of them as we speak.
Yep.
Scroll down, you can see the awesome little lanyard here that'll work with not just the PyBadge, but a bunch of other cards and accessories too. Just an awesome little Circuit Playground themed lanyard you can use for a bunch of other stuff. You can see the 3D printer right there you can use. Like this little tiny inventor. Prints a lot of our projects. It's one of those set it and forget it printers. Definitely recommended. And of course, all the 3D printed filament of various colors and material types to print out this nice little translucent case.
The 400 milliamp batteries are a nice choice. They are in stock right now, and they're ideal for feathers. So they fit right in between feathers and feather wings.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a nice one. That's what we're using now. And the little mini over speaker, although there is a built-in buzzer on the back of the PyBadge, the mini over speaker will give you a little bit more audio. So that's why we have it here. So it's worth noting that. It does have an onboard buzzer.
Jumping into the 3D printing page, super simple. Nothing really in terms of editing the settings for this. It should be able to print pretty good with no supports, except the button, although we are going to be showing off a different version, snap fit version case that Noah did a nice little layer by layer on, extensive actually on building the or actually you made them as components, so you could add this to any one of your case geometries for that. This little press bit button, and then of course the files themselves, you can get them on GitHub and on our Thingiverse page. And then there's a link to the layer by layer if you want to check out a little bit more in depth on how to design these and edit the geometry. Somebody actually has already made a make, like within the first couple hours that we posted about it. We'll get to it in a little bit. That's pretty much it. It all snaps together. The button lays right over the little holder for the button. PCB goes right on top. You just put it in at an angle, and then the front face of it just snaps right in, so you don't have to use any additional hardware. Some people on Twitter were asking if they could just use the backing and use some screws. You definitely could. You can see the standoffs there do have holes to support M3 screws to go through the PCB and into the back of the case. So if you don't want to use the front, you just use the back to protect the battery and the speaker. And here it is. So we're running a custom game that Noah made. Have a little Adabot on there, and the point of the game is to get to the strawberries. I think they should be batteries. And we're using the beta version of MakeCode Arcade, which allows for background music. Nice little score that Noah made there. And you can see here the score goes up every time you get close to the food, which is the strawberry, and you don't get to it.
It's very difficult to show a display overhead. Sorry, folks, I don't have any fader on there, but there are things. If you get really close, you can probably see it. So what we'll do is we'll switch over to the actual MakeCode Arcade, and we can get a really good look at the pixels and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It looks great in person, but I just can't. The camera just doesn't do its justice here, even with the brightness settings and
It looks
things.
amazing in person.
Yeah.
Though.
So this is MakeCode. If you go to arcade.makecode.com, here's what the homepage looks like. It's got this lovely header. These are all the projects. It's very similar to MakeCode because it's, well, MakeCode, but arcade. So over here are the kind of built-in tutorials Each one of these is a different sort of type of game. So you have sort of the matching games, you have the shooter style, and some sort of bit of a maze game here. So these are a really great way to kind of get you started into learning the mechanics of the blocks. There's also some platformers here that you can play with. There's some JavaScript-based ones, and down here are the community games here. And there's some more stuff here, game concept, graphics, and math. So you can generate all sorts of different math-driven animations, lessons, courses. It's pretty awesome. Here's the choices of different hardware. Adafruit PyBadge is right there. And you can add your own board here as well if you're working on your own hardware. So I started with the Chase the Pizza, and this one just shows you how to kind of create a little game where you kind of feed. It's kind of like Snake in a way. So I called it Ultimaker Berry, and it walks you step by step on which blocks you need in order to get this game going. And there's a simulator built in, so if you don't have hardware, you could at least get this going here. So there's my little tune. You could do a little full screen here to kind of show. I just died because there's a timer. The goal of the game is to kind of feed Adabot as the timer goes down. So if you just wait, the timer will go down, and if it hits 0, you die. This is all built into it. So a lot of the things like the overlay of being game over, or the concept of a timer going down, is all kind of built in, which is pretty awesome because you just get to go jump in and start making some assets and some music, which is pretty sweet. So this is what Pedro was playing. You can see there's particle effects and things, which is pretty cool. And I have a little score count up there. It's like 19, 20, very sweet. So I'll stop that for a second and kind of take a look at the blocks here. So it is MakeCode. So you have some blocks over here that can do sprites and different effects. Set your volume, create notes and things. Here's my little sprite. It has a built-in sprite editor, which is really nice. So I built my little Adabot there. And they have some built-in sprites as well. Here's a gallery. Maybe I want some pizza instead, or maybe a taco. Here's a taco. Let's have Adabot eat a taco. There it is. Now he's eating a taco. The awesome thing about this is that I can upload this to my hardware right now with the USB cable. So there's no need to, the compiling is happening over USB, which is great, over web USB, mind you. So if I plug it in, a couple things are going to happen. It's going to start charging the battery because it has a built-in battery USB charging. That's what you come to know and love about Feathers, is they all have built-in USB charging. So it's charging my battery right now. I'm going to go ahead and hit Page's reset button. Pretty cool note about Page's reset button. If you put this on the table, it's not supposed to hit the reset. Maybe I messed up. Mine does. Sorry. No, see? No, it's hitting the reset button. Gosh darn it. Anyway, you need to hit the reset button to get the PyBadge. So here is what it tells you to do. This PyBadge, the version number, and it's saying, hey, just drop in a UF2 file in here, right into that. So this shows up as a USB drive, like all CircuitPython devices do. And I can update this here. Let me switch over to the web, hit download. I'm not sure if I paired the device or not. I might have. But it's up here in the little cogwheel. You can say pair device. And there is the PyBadge. Hit connect. And hopefully it will download it over web USB. This is beta, so things might go wrong. But if anything, you can get the UF2 file and drag and drop it straight into your PyBadge USB drive. So I'll do that now. Just drag it over, and we should have some pizza.
I see a taco.
Sorry, a taco. Taco. There we go. So audio just started working. So I believe a build just came out an hour ago that makes the light sensor work. So this has a light sensor. So if you needed to, maybe there's a level
auto dimming or something.
Darkness or brightness, or depending on if it's dark or not, your level could change. The NeoPixel support is coming as well, so if you win a level or something, maybe you see your life HP is the NeoPixel. So many different
awesome.
things. Now that you have actual sensors, you kind of have to think about untraditional games like the Game Boy didn't have NeoPixel, didn't have sensors, didn't have accelerometer. This does. This has a triple axis accelerometer. Not only that, but it's feather wing compatible. It's got the 12 pin and the 16 pin headers. So that means you can add any number of motor control, servo control, lots of different things.
What's so cool about this is the speaker's so powerful on here. It actually feels like a rumble pack
Sure.
is already included in here because
Sure, you could add an actual vibrating motor to it.
yeah, or just have your music be very bassy,
Yeah.
and you get the rumble pack for free.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So we printed it in this translucent case so we can still see the awesome silkscreen designed by Philip Burgess. Lovely PCB.
Like a little blink over here.
Yeah. Sweet. We also have the 3D model of it, which is one of the first things we like to do is just kind of put this together so we have a one-to-one accurate representation of all the components on board. So this is available, links in the description of our GitHub repo. We also will have it available in the product page once that goes live, which is being worked on right now. So that's the bits that we have. There it is again. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, one of the cool.
It comes with a
Like-
multi-bootloader, so Arduino, CircuitPython, MakeCode. You get those three options, which is kind of like everything. Right? It's pretty awesome. So
And
we're having a lot of fun with it. It's incredible.
Yeah, so I'm usually not a gamer, but when you actually get this in your hand, you start playing around with modifying some of the games. Or one of the, I think, most complete games that they have on here as one of the demos is the block jumper.
You
I
want to
think,
do that one?
Yeah, it feels like
right, let's
a
upload that
little
one.
Mario.
I'm
so cool.
building an assortment of fun games, and actually I have this really fun one. So John Park, shout out to you, sir. He put together an awesome kind of a demo game that has Ruby, the LED character. It's kind of like this kind of jump, kind of a Mario type Ruby game. So this is it here. John Park put this together, and he has a full learn guide on it, on walking through, building all the assets and all the animations to create this amazing little game. So we're gonna try this out. Let me see if I can try the web USB stuff again, connect it. Okay, it says try downloading now. So let me download. Hopefully this will push it directly to the device without having to drag and drop the UF2 file. This is the beta mode. arcade.makecode.com/beta #editor. That's the link. It's a secret link. Should I paste it?
There it is.
And it loaded. So here we
Yay.
go. This is little Ruby.
Adorable Ruby.
Yeah, and the cool thing about that is she has kind of like this sprite animation where. Oh, do we hit the reset button? I want to hit the reset button again. Does that kickstart the game? Yes, it does. Sweet. So you can see there's like a jumping, there's physics and stuff. Parallax effects. Yeah, you can just
double
keep jumping.
jump.
Yeah, you can
That's
keep
so
jumping
cool.
up and just fly through the game. And I think there's a little bug. Go to the end, like touch the yellow thing. You're supposed to win, but for whatever reason you die, which is kind of funny. And this is just a great little kind of a demo to show that you can create animation sprites and a nice little platformer. So it's really fun.
So adorable.
Yeah, it's very
Check out
adorable.
Ruby.
Yeah.
And he has a whole
So if you
guide
just
on
stand there, she'll look left and look right a little
idle
bit. Her
animation.
body kind of moves slightly, and these are all concepts that John Park talks about in John Park's workshop.
Yep, he's talking about squash and stretch for adding nice movement for the characters and the animations.
Right, and
so cool.
Ruby's eyes will move depending on what direction she's going in, so that's really cool. Yeah, very awesome. And all this, of course, is completely editable, and you can change it up. So definitely check out the Learn Guides and get working on this. I'm definitely coming up with some ideas and things once we have full hardware support for all the sensors. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, there's also other additional hardware stuff you can do in terms of design. Maybe add a little D-pad or something like that.
Little joystick.
Which little joystick, yeah, works pretty good.
That's awesome. My thumb hurts. No, it doesn't hurt. Very cool.
Can I die?
Yes, yeah, that's built in there. Right? Like you touch the lava and you don't die.
Yeah, so these are one of the
That's very
joysticks that you can get for the Switch. There's a couple up on Thingiverse. So I'm gonna design one of these so it'll fit inside the case and have a smaller little D-pad to work with.
Very
Since once you start getting into the game and all that, you start getting your thumb.
Oh, look at his thumb.
So it'd be a nice little addition for additional projects for this. Lots of possibilities.
Yeah. So please sign up to the product page. It's over here. Whichever version you'd like, whether you'd like the LE version or the full featured version, sign up and we'll know how many we need to make.
Let's see, taking a look at some of the feedback on the YouTube. Kirby is hoping for this to be in the next AdaBox. Maybe.
Sorry, I'm trying to...
Imagination to form is saying 40% more rumble. And will Tetris work on this? I think there is actually a build
Perhaps
for
there's
Tetris.
a demo, Tetris type demo.
Is there AI, like for an enemy to move to the player? I believe you can have that logic in there.
Well, yeah, I would suggest. I haven't had so much time to work on it, but there are some games that are already here. So, what's cool about it is if you're interested in the game mechanics of a shooter and you really want to get it going, just click on it and dig through it. Which one should we look at next?
Probably Jumpy platformer. I think is Jumpy, and then the Falling Duck one.
So Jumpy
I think
platform?
the most.
Okay, so I'll hit
pretty
open
close to
example. This will pull all
complete.
the assets in and all the all the blocks. And here it is.
Sort of the printer's
On start.
printing made it sound like the Pac-Man sound. I was like,
And if you're a fan of JavaScript, just switch over here and then you have your lovely JavaScript. And it's all written out there. You can read it, scroll through it, a little bit more easier, I think. Or if you're a visual person and you can't stand to look at syntax, switch it back over to the blocks. And you can drag and drop it to your heart's content.
yay, Dave is still saying he's printing the case as he watches.
Excellent. So let's go ahead and, do I have to pair it again? It says it's paired. Let's go ahead and hit, it said failed, no device selected. Well, you are beta. Let's do it again, connect.
I think it means like it sees something, not that it's paired.
Okay. Download.
Takes about 30 seconds, I want to say.
What it's doing in the background? Oh
It's
boy.
doing a lot of stuff in the
Watch
background.
last 2 weeks ago.
They have a whole
Where the
flow
MakeCode
chart
team
on
was
how interpretation's going on.
What's going on, yeah.
It is insane. And if you haven't watched, I think 2 episodes ago on Ask an Engineer, they had the MakeCode Arcade team on there. Definitely worth a watch if you want to get a better, deeper understanding of how all these mechanics are working. So here is Jumpy Blocker. I think one of the most complete games. Definitely feels like a cross between Mario and Mega Man.
Yep.
Got
So
like
you-
the jumpy,
Right.
the
So
double
you got-
jump
so
type
you got
thing.
enemies, you get projectiles, you get particles,
And it's super
collection detection. These are all
addicting.
concepts that are broken out into little mini tutorials to create like one piece of the game. So I guess at the end of the course, you can bring all those concepts together and make your own game.
You have the parallax with the background, you have the levels, you have the life, the hearts, and the multiple stages.
Right.
And once you get all that down, it comes to level design, which they did a pretty good job here for a demo. You can see how it becomes a little bit more complicated in terms of getting to the next level and the way that they make puzzle in the level design for getting all of the coins. Very, very addicting, not recommended while working.
Does this work?
Let's see what my highest score, and they even got little bat dudes there, like
different
the
types of
booze.
enemies. Yeah.
So lots of different type of enemies for mechanics and all that. And again,
Pretty
puzzles
short game
for.
too, but I mean, it's up
That's
to you
about
to
5 levels,
it in,
but
yeah.
it's pretty good. It's very good.
It works great. You don't have to worry about the bouncing. It's already set for you.
Oh, jeez. Yes, we are working.
And you win.
Yay.
Congratulations. Oh,
So
one
cool.
more level. Cool. I'll jump over to Q&A.
Oh! One thing I want to show is their awesome menu system.
Cool. All
Jump
right.
over to the overhead. They have a very nice UI for the menu system here. You have access
There's a
to.
built-in menu system.
Yep, you got access to your volume, to your brightness. They are working on 2-player mode. That's
Right,
in
connecting
there.
to devices.
Oh, you can have it go to sleep. You have the console, stats, and close. So cool.
You can debug right on there, huh?
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, sweet.
Alright, cool.
Well, we hope you sign up and bear with us as we, make these.
Oh yeah, and then really quick, just showing how the little hooks go onto our awesome Circuit Playground themed lanyards. So you have plenty of space for. It should be universal with any of the lanyards that are out there that have the little hooks like this. Somebody actually already made a remix of this. You can jump over to the
Let's take a look.
Thingiverse page where this is posted. You can go on the make side of thing, or the made, or remix side of things, sorry.
Yep. So I'll right-click, open a new tab, load this up. go to
I like the
Remix.
little suitcase type of look to this.
This is something you would put on a, on a store backdrop.
Mm-hmm.
The little hooks for stores. That's
Ah.
what that is. Yeah. So shout out to Chris Lee Hu for putting this together.
Within hours of launching.
Wanted
Awesome.
some screws and a different backplate there.
Yeah. The
worked out.
like I was saying before, these standoffs are already set up to accept M3 screws.
Yep. The PCB itself is on GitHub. He uploaded it to his post, but you can grab it from
Oh,
the
yeah.
GitHub place if you
Yeah.
want.
It's
So,
a one-stop
there it is.
if you want to just grab it there. It should be pretty close
GitHub.
to the.
It's super close. Close as you're gonna get. Excellent. Well, thank you, Chris Lee Wu, for sharing that with us.
Very awesome. Kirby is asking if we've seen the Pyromony Blit. Of course, I think
Yeah.
everybody has.
Yep. Yeah, it's a great piece of hardware. Scott is looking to
Of
put
course.
CircuitPython on it.
He's already.
And
yeah.
it's definitely some beefy hardware. Yeah, it's great. A little bit more on the high-end side. We're
Yeah.
trying to make it accessible for everybody at a price point where... Oh no, we lost sound, folks.
Hold on, I'm listening.
Hello.
It's still going.
Hi there.
I hear it.
We lost sound. Hello.
No, I hear it.
Okay. Sorry.
It was his end.
Maybe. Okay, so...
No, it's still going.
wow. Well, I mean, we're notorious for having terrible audio, so that's why my whole mood is always like, well, we're going to have a terrible show.
All right, continuing on. Never look at. Let me worry about the sound.
Well, I mean,
Let me verify
I'm
sounds.
just- yeah,
okay, moving on to
That's it, we're gonna close
a
the
very
goodbye.
awesome case that you worked on. It's a snap fit version of this, so it's a little bit bigger, but
it is.
it has the snap fits on there. And the cool thing about this is that you made these snap fits in the component. I don't want to break it, so I'm going to let you talk about it and take it apart.
I want you to break it. Go ahead, try it out. See if you can
Let's
open
see.
it. That's a real test right there.
So here is the snap fit version of the same case. You have the very nice geometries that hold both pieces together, and you have a little standoff here that'll elevate the board, as well as access to the concave cutout for
That's
the
right,
reset button here. Sorry,
Mm.
not angling that. And then little cutouts for the
Mine's different.
pixels.
There's a notch at the top. The notch kind of allows you to get really right up against the USB port in the slide switch. So it's got this interesting notch that kind of works out. But I needed to create that notch because when you have these snap fits, you kind of need padding along the edges of your PCB.
Yeah.
So that's something that we put together.
Yep, so you'll be uploading this
Yeah.
sometime today.
There's these like indicators on the side. It's always difficult to kind of unclamp it and open your cases that have snap fits. So these little chamfers on the edge allows your fingernails to kind of easily come in there and separate them. So I tend to have one thumb on this. Yeah, exactly. You kind of get one angle, then you get the next one, and then the whole thing comes off.
Very nice.
And there's no play in them either. The tolerances are super tight, even though there's a nice gap in the CAD when you print it out, it expands a little bit. It makes it super nice and tight. So there you go. No hardware screws needed for any of these guys. They just snap fit.
I know we just did a whole video on using heat inserts, but for this
I
case...
did try heat inserts, and because of the mounting holes, there are some components that are too close to the mounting holes.
Yeah.
You cannot have a heat set because you'll just crash into the component. It won't go flush with the PCB. So in those cases, snap fit's the way to go, and that's kind of what led us to even come up with snap fits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Lamar for creating this awesome
Very awesome.
hardware, and Phil B and the whole team, of course, for putting it together.
Yeah, so there are definitely more variations of the case coming out. Somebody actually said to have like nice little covers to prevent any of the crud from getting in. Really good idea.
Yeah, mine
just going to be adding that. Going to be adding the some heights so you can get to the headers on here, and then of course adding a joystick. It's going to be super cool.
Right.
Smaller than this, obviously.
I mean, this is the PyBadge. There's still a PyGamer coming out.
There's a PyGamer coming out, but for the size of this, which I don't have, what I have here for, I don't have banana for scale, but it's so freaking tiny. Oh yeah, just take out your credit card, your driver's license, ID. It is the same size. It's amazing. All of the awesomeness that is packed in this tiny little package.
This is the thinnest handhelds that we've ever got to make, because normally it's like first get your Raspberry Pi, and then you get your screen, then you get your charging circuit.
Oh no, my kernel's busted.
Then you get all these different PCBs and wire them up together. And
oh no, my software's out of date.
Yeah, I got a
Who supports the software? Oh man, it's not working. Where do I get the ROMs? Oh man.
So yeah, oh gosh. Don't so game on, folks.
Game on. Everybody's working on one of these. Hopefully. They're all good.
Yeah, no. So, yeah, I hope it comes back in stock as well, Jerry.
They're being made as we speak. That's the problem with having popular hardware is they sell out so quick.
Well, it's a good problem.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into this week's
Community
prototyping.
Makes.
Community Makes, layer by layer.
Just Community Makes.
Community Makes. We have a ton this week. Thank you
we're just going to show
sharing.
one of them. So the goal is, I think I'm going to create a whole new video for Community Makes, where I just talk in front of the camera and kind of share my screen and talk a little bit about them, because we don't do justice to sharing the projects that folks are posting. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Yeah. So for this one, at least for this Community Makes, we're going to share our Timelapse Tuesday video that we did. Here it is. This week was a very awesome Timelapse Tuesday. This is designed by John Mulac of 3D Printing World, I believe. It's a retractable blade lightsaber sword, and John has made a couple different variations of this, and he put together a really good video that kind of goes to the backstory of how he came up with this design and what it turned out to be. So it's got the hilt of a lightsaber, it's hollow, and it has a screw threaded pommel, a little cap, and that kind of retains the retractable blade. The blade itself is a series of very, very thin, slightly tapered cylinders that, when put together, they create a blade that's retractable. So if we go over to the overhead, we can get a look at the pieces. This is all printed at the same time, because they're just concentric tubes.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. They all print at the same time, prints in place. Very difficult to print a very thin geometry that's no infill. It's just perimeter, so it's like 2 perimeters thick, and it's concentric. So what you end up happening is you have a Z-seam. Your printer has to have the bestest active cooling, the best retraction you can pump out, because otherwise this thing's going to get fused. However, John, the smart engineer that he is, he made it so that you can print the tubes independently from each other and just stack them in. They come apart like that, but they won't come apart the other way, because I said they're slightly tapered. So
So we had this idea for
Pedro
Quitter
had
Mine
this idea for a while.
but I just thought that the
completely
printing wouldn't
disregarded
work.
it because I said there's no way that's going to be good. It's going to jam up. It's going to lock up.
Fuse together.
Boy, was I wrong. This is. I'm always wrong. This is.
I was wrong. I never tried it because of that. I just didn't assume that our printers would be good enough for that. And turns out, I'm so glad that he took the chance on getting these to work.
Yeah, so it doesn't really take a lot of effort for this.
Whoa! Oh, that's the one my son broke. Yeah. So the cool thing about this, good thing we can talk about that, is that he actually made a version where the top screws off and you can switch out the color of your lightsaber blade. So I'm gonna switch this to green, pops in like that. And we're definitely gonna be making a modified version of this. So the back hilt part, what is the bottom part of a sword called?
The pommel.
The pommel is a little bit more elongated with the threads, so we can, of course, add some Adafruit electronics in there, have a little 3-watt LED or something that'll illuminate these and get this out.
Yeah, so let's take a look at John's Thingiverse page, and it's right over here. He calls it the Collapsing Lightsaber Removable Blade. He has a really good video. I recommend giving him a subscribe and watch the video. He's making some really good content. He's got a really good story too. He works as an engineer by day and, you know, doing fun, awesome things with his kids and his imagination. Just really, sounds like a really cool guy. So thank you, John Mulac, for sharing that with us. So he goes by 3D Printing World, and you can check him out on Thingiverse, on YouTube. Give this a go.
Imagination of Form saying, yeah, or no, HT Magic is saying NeoPixel strip in there would be awesome. So we would, yeah, we wanted to be able to retract, so it's going to be like a single, like 3-watt LED.
Yeah,
so
the Prop Maker Wing has 3-watt, exactly, 3-watt LED support. So maybe we just throw a giant one, or we just got these 12-volt LED fiber optic fans. Maybe that somehow works.
So we want to be able to maintain the
retractability of it,
collapsibility, retractability, and then one of the cool things that we discovered too, just playing with this, is we could somehow make this air powered too.
Sorry,
since you are able, since these are pretty airtight, you have like a CO2 canister or something like that. I don't know how we would get it to retract. Maybe like some string that's in there that pulls it back or something, like with a motor or something. But there's a lot of possibilities that you'll be able to add.
If it ever, what's odd is that, or what's interesting is that if, obviously when you pull it out, because the layers are, you know, it's printed tallways, and you have layer lines, it can get kind of stuck. But when it gets stuck, you can, is it this one? Yeah. If you just go straight down, like compressing it doesn't damage it. It's only when you you know, kind of
because of the way that it's printing.
Yeah, it's kind of like your, like the grains on wood.
Imagination Form is wondering if this CR10S Pro will be good enough. I believe it should be.
Give it a shot. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it should be.
I mean, ours didn't work the first time.
Where did we print it on? Probably it was the Prusa.
Yeah, the Prusa. When you're doing an octolapse, it has to park to trigger the camera and then go back and it has to heat up again.
Yeah.
Who knows if it?
And you can print these in pieces too, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, you can print it in pieces.
Which we've had to do because
did.
When you're playing with this with a child, he's inevitably going to break it.
Every second he was playing with it, he's just like, don't break this.
Not before the show.
No, before the show.
So we did have to print that's why this one's broken.
Yeah. I have another one here that's
I think a fuchsia purple type one.
I definitely recommend watching John's video. It's very cool. This is one of his earlier ones where the whole blade and everything is built into this. So it's all in the hilt and it's got this different style. Problem is that you can't get to it, so it's all enclosed here. So if any of these pieces break, the whole thing is kind of ruined. You can't get to it. But it kind of reminds me of like a unicorn horn or something. Kind of neat. It's a smaller sword, different style. It's got like this cross guard, and it has different segments that are a little bit lighter. So he's got an assortment of these. And again, watch his video to see where the idea came from. You may have printed one of his designs already. So that's what we have for the Community Makes. Shout out to John Mulac for winning the hearts and minds of all makers.
Star Wars land opening. You bet we're gonna take one of these there just to see.
Yeah. Okay.
See if they even let us in, because it's my son's.
It's my son.
I think kids are allowed.
Here's me being silly with it. Cha-cha! I got
Oh
a
yeah,
purple
that
one.
really cool purple
Cha-cha,
one. I don't know where it is.
cha-cha.
As you can tell, we were having way too much fun with these.
I had too much fun with it. Cha-cha. Okay.
All right, moving on to other awesome makes in the community this week. There's so many. Next up is, I think, the wooden link store, or are you just going to save those?
We're just going to have to save them.
Okay.
I don't have them loaded here, so it'll take too long. All right, well, that's going to be it. It's a nice and short week, so that's all we got for you folks. But there's more stuff coming on tonight. At 7:30 p.m. we have show and tell, so if you got anything to share with the community and the world at large, please come on by and share your project with us. Doesn't have to be a finished project, doesn't even have to have electronics in it. We like art and stuff. Ask an Engineer happens right after at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Lamar and Phil were traveling. They were at
Red Hat
offices, and hopefully they're now back in the Adafruit offices.
So lots of cool stuff coming up in regards of that.
Cool. And then Jump Park is on Thursdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. You're going to see some more MakeCode Arcade stuff, hopefully some more PyBadge based projects.
Definitely. It's going to be more previews on some of the other firmware updates that's going on. I think it was just pushed out, as you mentioned, so definitely stay for that. And don't forget to check out the whole playlist of all of the MakeCode Arcade, starting from scratch to make really cool games.
Excellent. Well, don't forget, folks, your orders are what keep this going. So a kit every now and then definitely helps us out. You can use coupon code GAMEON to get 10% off your order. Works on everything in the shop except for certificates and those subs.
I just noticed that YouTube is having some problem right now with chat, so I've been responding to people and the chats have not been going through. Error, try it again. So Imagination of Form says...
I fight for users.
Print more to have handy when they break. Yes, we did that.
Every color.
Something coming at 6
Load all
tonight.
the printers. We're printing lightsabers.
Actually, we did, yeah. And then on Discord. Yeah, sure. It looks like everybody is asleep.
Yeah.
I like Mr. Certainly's comment that we realized that John had a great gig getting paid to play video games, so they decided to get in on the action.
Yeah, that's incredible. So that's going to be it from us, I guess. But like I said, tonight we have more show.
More coupon codes.
More coupon codes.
So definitely stay tuned for that. And don't forget to click on the little bell icon so you can see when videos are released, as well as signing up for the Pi Game badges when those are released as well. There should be some tonight, so stay tuned for that. I just keep the webpage open and refresh like a madman.
Yeah.
Because it's so addicting, we need more.
All right, folks, well, we really appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with us, sharing your projects. It's always an awesome thing. We wish you, all the makers, good luck with all your maker endeavors.
We'll see you next week and later tonight.
Make a great day.
See you next week, guys.
Bye, folks.